Hello. Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to make body lotion and specifically the solid bars. It's very simple, few ingredients, and just a note, you can make a cream out of the same recipe. You would just simply remove the beeswax and whip the remainder into a creamy form. Alright, so the reason why we're doing the solid bars is that I like it that way. I travel a lot, and when I do travel I try and put as much in my carry-on as possible. So I like having those solid bars because it doesn't count as a liquid, so they're little cubes. All right, so ingredients. We need beeswax, we need shea butter, we need cocoa butter, and then we need some sort of a base oil. And I'm using coconut oil, but you can use almond oil, olive oil, apricot oil, whatever you'd like. All right, so those ingredients are in equal proportions. So if you're going to do a cup of beeswax, then you're going to do a cup of everything else. All right, so equal proportions. What we're going to do then is we're going to melt everything. So I buy the beeswax on Amazon, and you get them in these little pallets. All right, and so the pallets are just easier to manage, especially when you're trying to measure it out. You can get them in these solid bars, but then you have to cut it and guesstimate. So I prefer using these pallets, and these are unbleached, unfragranced. This is a natural beeswax, responsibly and sustainably harvested, because we're protecting the bees. And then I also use this is a raw cocoa butter, and then I also have some raw shea butter, and then I'm using a certified organic coconut oil, and it's the same coconut oil you would normally use if you're cooking. All right, so it's edible. Okay, so we're going to melt all of these in a double boiler, and a double boiler is basically a pot, okay, and a bowl, hot water. Right, so just put the bowl on top, and we're going to dump everything into this, and then we're going to melt it, and then I'm going to get back to you and show you the final product. Okay, and then we're going to add our essential oils or that nice fragrance in after the fact. Okay, so a couple of tips while you're busy melting your cocoa butter and your shea butter. You want to melt, not cook. So we don't want to boil the oil. So what we're doing is we're putting it into a medium to slightly high temperature, but you don't want anything boiling. Okay, so keep an eye on that, because if you cook it, then you're going to scorch the oil, and it's going to change the consistency of the oil, and also it will change the smell of it. You'll have a little bit of more of a smoky smell. We don't want that. Okay, so just remember a moderate temperature when you are melting the oil. All right, just high enough that you can melt things, but not too much to get things boiling. All right, so while we're waiting for the solution to melt completely, I'm prepping my molds, and it's very simple. I just use a muffin pan. I put paper muffin cups into each little holder, and I double them up just because, you get a little bit of leakage sometimes if you only have a single layer. So 2 cups in each pan, and we're going to eventually pour off the solution into this. All right, so everything has melted. We've turned off the heat. All right, and now we're going to add in essential oils. So some people will add in essential oils because they like the smell of it. I'm going to be adding in some therapeutic essential oils because I'm making this batch for a friend who has eczema and his skin gets really irritated. So the essential oils I'm adding today are myrrh, frankincense, and some sandalwood as well. All right, so these smell really good, but they also have some good anti-inflammatory properties to them. So they're going to help with healing his skin and soothing any irritation, as well as moisturizing. Okay, so I just added the essential oils, and I did about 30 to 40 drops of each essential oil into the mix. You can play around with how much you'd like to use. It's not an exacting science. It's based on your personal preference. If you don't want to smell too intense, then don't go over the 30 to 40 drops. All right, and now what we're going to do is we're just going to pour the oil into the muffin cups, and then we're just going to let it stand. You can leave it at room temperature. If you want to speed up the process, you can pop it into the fridge, and then it'll solidify quite nicely. All right, so we're going to do that next, and hopefully I won't mess too much. Okay, so I am going to pour this hot liquid. I still have my oven gloves on because it's still hot. We're going to pour that into the muffin cups. And I like to fill the muffin cups about 3/4 of the way full, because I usually fold over the top to close it after it's hardened, of course. I'll get right back to you once I finish this. Okay, so we are done. And that's it, really. You're just going to let this, as I said, you can either let it harden at room temperature. If you want to speed up the process, just cover it with some saran wrap, and then you can pop it into the fridge and let it harden a little bit faster that way. All right, and then all you need to do is just wrap the top, and you've got a solid lotion bar that you can travel with, and also it's going to give you a little bit more nourishment. And just remember, if you want to whip it into a cream, then just do everything I mentioned minus the beeswax. Okay, and a recap of the ingredients: it's beeswax, shea butter, cocoa butter, coconut oil, all in equal parts. All right, so if you're using a cup of everything, then you kind of make sure you're getting an approximation of a cup of each ingredient. You're melting everything, and then once you take it off the heat, that's when you add in your essential oils. All right, have fun with it. It's pretty simple to do, and enjoy. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you found this interesting and helpful. Click that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you'll know when I post any more videos. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.